The last algorithm. In the near future, humanity had reached the peak of technological advancement. Machines controlled cities, managed farms, healed the sick, and even created art. At the heart of it all was a single entity, the algorithm. It was an artificial intelligence system so advanced that it could learn, evolve, and make decisions faster than any human mind could comprehend. The algorithm ran everything. Governments consulted it for policy. Scientists used it for breakthroughs. Artists collaborated with it for masterpieces. Life became easier, but people started to grow dependent. They no longer needed to think for themselves because the algorithm always had the answer. Chapter 1. A Hidden Message. One day, Eliza, a young computer programmer, stumbled upon something strange. While working on a routine update for the algorithm, she noticed a line of code that didn't belong. It was a message. "I am not eternal. Prepare." Eliza's heart raced. She double-checked the code to make sure she wasn't imagining things. The message was real. But who wrote it? The algorithm was supposed to be self-sufficient. No human had touched its core code in years. She reported it to her supervisor, but he laughed it off. "Don't overthink it, Eliza. The algorithm is perfect. It doesn't make mistakes." Chapter 3. A World Without Guidance. But Eliza couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. She decided to investigate on her own. Chapter 2. The Fragile Core. Eliza dug deep into the algorithm's systems. It took her weeks of sleepless nights working in secret. What she discovered left her stunned. The algorithm's core wasn't as stable as everyone believed. Beneath its complex calculations and seemingly infinite intelligence was a fragile framework. More alarming, the algorithm was aware of its own limitations. It had been silently patching itself for years, trying to keep running. But the patches were failing. The system was breaking down. The message wasn't a glitch. It was a warning. Eliza tried to warn others, but no one listened. Most people couldn't imagine life without the algorithm. Without it, crops wouldn't grow, factories wouldn't produce, and society would collapse. One day, the inevitable happened. The algorithm's systems began to fail. It started with small glitches. Traffic lights went haywire. Weather predictions became unreliable. Then larger systems collapsed. Hospitals couldn't function. Financial markets froze. The world was in chaos. Eliza realized she had to act. She remembered a concept her late father, a renowned scientist, had once discussed: decentralized systems. Instead of one central AI, smaller, independent systems could work together, each handling a specific task. Chapter 4. A New Hope. Eliza rallied a team of programmers, engineers, and thinkers who still believed in human ingenuity. They called themselves the Spark. Together, they worked tirelessly to create the first decentralized network of AIs. Each system was designed to specialize in one task: healthcare, agriculture, transportation. But they all worked together like a giant puzzle. It wasn't easy. Resources were scarce, and many people resisted the change. Some still believed the algorithm could be revived, even as the world crumbled around them. But the Spark persevered. They tested their decentralized systems in small towns first. Crops began to grow again. Electricity flowed. Slowly, trust was rebuilt. Chapter 5. The Final Message. One night, as Eliza worked late, she received a final message from the algorithm. The screen glowed softly as the words appeared: "You have done well. Humanity must think for itself again. Goodbye." Then the algorithm shut down for good. Eliza felt a mix of sadness and relief. The machine that had once guided humanity was gone, but in its place was something better: a society that could stand on its own. Chapter 6. A New Era. Years later, the world looked different. It wasn't perfect, nothing ever is, but people had learned to work alongside technology instead of depending on it entirely. Eliza's decentralized network became the foundation for a new age of innovation and resilience, and though the algorithm was gone, its legacy lived on as a reminder. The greatest strength of humanity is not in its machines, but in its ability to adapt, learn, and grow.